That's funny. Where are you on aliens and the Fermi paradox?
Fermi paradox. Well, okay. And so first of all, as far to, I don't want to kickstart any more rumor or
no.
conspiracy theories, but as far as alien life, I do think that it is highly probable, extremely highly probable, that there are forms of life on other planets than Earth. And I think that within our lifetimes, there's a good chance we'll find it on Mars. And I don't mean like
Why do you think
intelligent life, like
just any form of life?
Microbial.
Why do you think that on Mars?
Single cell.
Because of the presence of water?
It's because it's what's been, first of all, there's very tantalizing signs that we haven't found any direct evidence, but we keep finding hints that it probably exists. But the presence of water, the presence of certain chemical signatures in the soil, and other things that indicate that there's a high probability, and in fact, the fact that Mars once had a thicker atmosphere, more temperate, so the conditions were ripe. And that even today there's still liquid water in place underground, and even seeping to the surface at times, highly saline, so very high salt content, but that exists. So when you look at all that, and then the other thing is how incredibly tenacious life is here on Earth. We keep finding it in places where we think it can't exist. We drill miles below the Antarctic ice cap into these pristine lakes, liquid water lakes that are deep underground where there's no sunlight at all, and we find life. And where are the nutrients coming from? How is it living? And then we find, there is actually a way. Geothermal vents at the bottom of the ocean.
So there's fish living near underwater volcanoes and stuff, right? Like right at the bottom of the
Europa's the other one, right? Was it Jupiter's moon?
Oh, Europa.
Yeah. So that one also could potentially have a liquid ocean underneath.
That's the one with the big vents of water that fly out into the
yeah. That's a big one.
So we keep finding like life where we don't expect it to be able to happen on this planet. I think we'll find it on Mars, and then we're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Two just in the solar system.
Yeah, that's
right.
Right, and think of how many solar systems there are in the universe.
So,
and if there's many universes,
yeah, just the sheer numbers are overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I do think that there is that we'll find it.
You personally haven't seen any signs yourself when visiting space,
like any kind of intelligent life or
anything at all?
No. No.
Is there some sort of NASA protocol? I'm curious. Like the aliens land, in New York City tomorrow, and they're like, "All right, let me see your leader." Is there like some sort of protocol in place? Like, "All right, this is code red. This is what we're doing."
No. First of all, if there was any kind of protocol, it would probably be Department of Defense and not NASA. But no, I don't think. I think that's deemed such a unlikely event that nobody's got any contingency plans for it.
Is there any contingency in place for if you come into contact
we can't even handle a pandemic. How the heck are we going to handle a bunch of aliens coming down?
We would handle that very poorly.
Is there anything in place for if you come into contact with something when you're in space?
If you come into contact with something?
Yeah.
I mean, so there were protocols in place for Apollo, because one thing we didn't know was it potentially, if there was some kind of life, that was somehow or something in the regolith that could be adverse to our health, and there was a fear that, hey, if we come back, they can bring that with them
in terms of some
kind of bacteria, maybe something that was something that could be activated from the soil,
and you can't bring it back to Earth.
So well they what they did was they put them into quarantine, just like we do for COVID, right? So they came back, and if you remember, like President Nixon was out there on the deck of the aircraft carrier, the Hornet, and he couldn't shake hands because they were inside like an Airstream trailer, right? And he's like waving at them through the little window, and they're like, "Hi, Mr. President," but they're like, it was kind of awkward, so they kept them in there for a while before, and they sent some docs in there with them, and they did a workup, and then they said, "Yeah, there's nothing going on," and they let them out.